Find the domain and range of the following real functions. So we are looking at f of x is equal to square root of 3 square minus x square. I'm just redefining it that way. Okay, so let's start off with our domain. Yeah, so the very first step in domain would be something like this. Restriction. Step 1 is the restriction. What kind of restriction will we see when we have roots? Inside roots, what numbers can we put so that the output is a real number? Right, we have seen it over here. It has to be only positive, if not 0. So we need to start off with this. A square root takes only positive real number along with 0 as its input to get a real number as its output. Now, what can I imply? From this, I can imply that 3 square minus x square has to be greater than or equal to 0. Agree? Okay, on to the next step. Step 2, what is that we're looking at? We need to solve for x. What does that mean? We are going to simplify for x. Right, it's the same thing actually. I just told the same thing. A square minus b square is nothing but a plus b into a minus b. And so we have 3 plus x into 3 minus x is greater than or equal to 0. Now the funda is, how is that we're going to end up getting a positive value out of two numbers being multiplied? How is this possible? How is that we're going to end up with positive numbers? Right? How is that we're going to end up with positive numbers? When we have two numbers getting multiplied. What is the nature of the number? That is your clue. Indirectly, I'm asking, should they be positive, negative? What kind of number should they be? Either both should be positive or both should be negative. Do you guys agree? Right? So with this in mind, we're going to take up cases. Case 1, when both the numbers are, both the terms are, sorry, let me rewrite that. Both the terms are positive. Okay. So when both the terms are positive, that is 3 plus x should be greater than or equal to 0. So basically, it should be something like this, right? I'm transposing 3, that's it. And the second condition would be the following. 3 minus x should also be greater than or equal to 0. So 3 is greater than or equal to x. Or if you guys want to rewrite this, x should be, let me do it here itself or over here. X should be less than or equal to 3. Agree? So now I'll call this as a and b. See, this is where the confusion starts. So I have written and over here. See, and is because these are pair of condition. Both this factors condition has to be satisfied. That's why I have written and. Only then we'll get positive number, right? Okay, now the next part is the confusing part, one of the confusing parts. So there are two people, right? So they have their how do I put it across? Their conditions, I have to meet their conditions, only then I can move across. What does that mean? See, this person if I take in terms of number line, let me take in terms of number line, it will make sense. The very first person has a condition, right? The two main values are +3 and -3, right? Now, the first person has a condition that my value has to be greater than -3. So he's putting across a condition, right? Starting from here, move across. Any number starting from -3, I'm okay with that. The second person tells starting from +3 but lesser than that, I'm okay with those. Agree? So which region can I tell that, okay, listen to both of you guys. So this is a region which both of you guys will be able to agree with. So what is that region? Yes, the domain for the first condition would be -3 and 3. So any such value, I'll get that set of positive values, right? Now on to the negative one. Case 2, when both are negative. So basically 3 plus x should be less than or equal to 0. So x should be less than or equal to -3. Yeah, that is one, and the other one is, and I'm going to write and 3 minus x is less than or equal to 0. So 3 is less than or equal to x, or x is greater than or equal to 3. Now, so this is, again, we have a set of two people. So I'll call this as 1 and 2, right? So from 1 and 2, what can I tell? Therefore, from first and second, what is that I can tell? So there are two people again. They're fighting over a region. Let me write it over here. Not region, sorry. Fighting over, or they put across a condition. Let me not use the word fight itself. They put across a condition. One is telling I should be less than -3. It has to be less than -3. Other is telling it has to be greater than -3. So what is the domain satisfying both of this condition? Domain for the second one is no values, that is null set. And finally, right, therefore the domain as a whole is nothing but domain of the first region union domain of the second region, right? You have to take the union because there are two set of possibilities, and if second set there were certain numbers, we need to include that also, right? These are not related. Okay, the conditions are not related, they are independent. So as a whole, it will be a union of those two, but a union of the null set and any kind of range of values are that itself. So the domain is -3 to 3. Okay, so what does it mean? If I put across values from -3 to 3, right, 9 minus x square will give me a positive number, right guys? So let us actually do this. How can we verify this? Let me show this to you guys. So I'm going to type in the expression over here, 9 minus x square, right? So please see this, I'm typing in that. The graph of this will help us understand this. Now, we are trying to observe values which are positive. Where does it start from? So it has to be above 0. So I'm zooming into that. Okay. So let me zoom in a bit more. So now you can see the positive value starts from -3, and as and when you move across, it will end at +3. Right? Between this, all these are positive. So what can you tell? Yes, between -3 and +3, I'll get positive values, and the root of positive value is again real number. So yeah, we got the domain. We are happy. And now on to the range. So you can find range in quite a few methods again. Right, so the first being, one of that being, we'll assume, so step 1, let y be equal to square root of 9 minus x square. Right, of course this is the main methodology. If you guys get comfortable with this, you can use the second version of it. Right, so yeah, let me go across. So then I have to talk about expressing x in terms of y. See, this is a condition for x. Using that condition, I should be deriving y. For that, I need to express x in terms of y first. So for that, I will just directly do this. I don't want to take too many steps actually. So x is equal to y square 9 minus y square, square root of 9 minus y square. Okay, or let me not even take square root. X square is equal to 9 minus y square, right? Have a look at that. Okay, and now, so the most confusing part is this. We know that, I want to write it neat. We know that x can take up values, that is the domain can take up values which is greater than equal to minus 3 but less than equal to 3, right? The square of x will lie between what set of values? Think about it. The square of x will lie between, I'll show you graphically so that you guys can understand this. Square of x square, that is when we have an input of minus 3 to 3, right? Let me zoom in for that. Maybe it's around, yeah. So you can, if I give an input of 3, my output will be clearly 9, is it not? Furthermore, zooming in and it will be very clear, right? You can see that 9, where is 9? Oh, 9 is still not there. Okay, 9 will be, no, 9 is not shown anyways. So minus 3 is, you can see clearly that it is 9, and plus 3, it's over here, will also be 9, right? So you can see over here, it's in between, is it not? So basically, if I give an input of minus 3 to 3, my range of output, possible output, is between 0 to 9. Do you guys agree? So the x square will lie between 0 to 9, is it not? This implies x square is between 0 to 9. Let me kind of do this. Now, x square is between 0 to 9. Using that, I'll substitute 9 minus y square. So I'm going to substitute from, say, m. Substitute from m. Substitute m. Right, what will I get? When I substitute m, I'll get 0 being greater than or equal to 9 minus x square, sorry, y square being greater than or equal to 9. So the most confusing part is this. So I'll put a star. And now we need to solve for y. Okay, so that would be a step 2. So we got an expression, then we need to substitute. I'll call this as step 2, then we'll call this as step 3. Now, so solve for y. This is substituting x, substituting, yeah, or y, expression of y, expression of y in x's in domain. Okay, solving for y. Now how will we solve for y? First is I need to eliminate 9. So how will I eliminate 9? Adding or subtracting or adding minus 9 with all terms. Adding minus 9 to all terms. So what do we have? Minus 9. So this will be minus y square and 0. And then we have multiply negative 1 with all terms. So what do I end up with? We have 9 greater than or equal to y square greater than or equal to 0. See what I did? This is again an important step. So you need to understand what I did over there. That understanding I'll give it in a second. And now So y square is between 0 to 9, and therefore y will be between 3 to or 0 to 3. Okay, on taking square root with all the terms, on taking square root with all terms. So I end up with this. So you guys can ask, sir, should it not be from 3 to minus 3? Because from 3 to minus 3, I can get this set of outputs. It can satisfy this. The funda over here is that a root of a function is always defined to get a positive output so that it's a function. Right? It's the very definition of the root value. So y, which represents square root of 9 minus x square, should always give us positive number. And so with that in mind, we'll end up with this particular answer. Again, it's the very idea. It's defined that way. Right, guys? So this would be your answer. I have written it in detail. That's why it looks lengthy. If not, yeah, it will not take too much of time. And you need to do it in a well-organized manner. Cases and all of that. Right? So steps and cases and everything. So let me just, okay. Oh yeah, at last I would like to discuss the answer itself. Right? Using our, just a second, no. Okay. Next. I want to talk about this. First, let me show you guys this itself. Let's talk about 9 minus x square, right? Let's look at this. So we got a range of, I need to zoom in though. Yeah, I think this will be helpful. We got an input of minus 3 and output of 0. If for an input of minus 3, output of 0, and plus 3, it is 0 again. And 0, it is 9. See, this is without root. With root, what will be the condition? With root, we can't have inputs below minus 3 and above 3. Right? And this values will be, the maximum value will be 3. Is it not? 0 to 3. Can you see that? So it's defined in that way. If it was not defined, then you would have got one more graph, something like this. It would have been a smiley face. And this is a frowny face. Is it not? So it's defined that way. Okay? Yeah. So you can clearly see that we have an output of 0 to 9 for a positive input. Sorry, not positive input, but from minus 3 to 3 as a positive output. Right? To our root, we can't give negative value. So it's between minus 3 to 3. So let me do this once more. But now the condition being, I'm going to run it from 3 to 3. Just a second, 3 to 3. And let me run this. So I have to be a bit careful. 9 minus x square. And taking root, I'm doing it with 0.5. That is nothing but root. And now I'll run this. Oh, I didn't stop it, is it? Okay. Oh, okay. 9 minus x square 0.5. Okay, so now I have changed the range, right? I changed the domain, sorry, to minus 3 to 3. Alright. What's happening? Okay, now let me run it again. Nine minus x square root. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm not pressing plus, my bad. Okay, can you see that? So between this we have the range to be 0 to 3 and the domain is minus 3 to plus 3, because below that it will give us non-real numbers and the program will kind of get interrupted, telling that we have set of inputs whose output is not real number. Okay, so this would be our answer. Right guys, see to that you'll write everything. It's good to start off with, and once you get comfortable, your writing will reduce by a lot. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to teach you guys one thing. And at last note. So why is that I flipped the sign? About the flipping of the sign. About the flipping from greater than or equal to less than or equal to and all of that. Why is this happening? Say let me give you a simple example. So say -3. It's obviously less than 4. Agree? Now if I multiply negative sign to both the terms, I'm multiplying -1 to both the terms. What will happen to -3? Yes, it will become +3. What will happen to 4? It will become -4. So what should be the sign? 3 is greater than -4, is it not? So with this reasoning, we have all of this. Can you see that? It flipped over here. So you need to flip it. Okay, so yeah.